Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Trinity Jackson, and we are going to be doing another podcast recording. Once again, if you want the link to the podcast, it will be in the description below, along with a free month trial to Audible, my Discord, and how you can connect with me on other social medias. So let's go ahead and get into this episode. Welcome back to another episode of Conversations Are My Thing. Today we're going to be talking about the importance of taking action. In the last few days, I've been making a lot of content. I've been making numerous YouTube videos, a lot of reels and TikToks, and posting on my story, and even doing things around the house. I've basically been getting a lot done. And as I was journaling last night, I said, dang, it's been a really productive few days. I've been feeling good. I don't feel like there's anything that I'm missing or something I wish I would have done during the day. I feel like I'm getting it all done. I'm loving what's happening. I'm loving what's going on. I'm listening to the book, The Magic of Thinking Big, and they had a chapter talking about the importance of taking action. And I listened to that on Sunday, over and over again. I listened to it multiple times, and I started to implement it. And I realized last night that, oh my gosh, all I've been doing simply is just taking action on the things that I know I need to do. And I want to talk a little bit about that because I feel as if more people just simply took steps to the things that they want to do, and they probably realize that the goals that they have or the businesses they want to start would and could be a thing. They just have to take the first step. Now, one thing I realize, or one thing that I emphasize, is that your ideas and the vision that you have for your life is meant for you. It is meant for you. The reason I like to talk so much and I like to put out content as much as I do is because I know that there is no one that is going to be able to communicate the way I can. Not that I'm even special, but everybody's different. Everybody has their own perspective. And I know that the way I see things is unique. The ideas that come to me are unique. The vision that I have for my life is unique to me. So I value the things that I think about. I value the ideas that come to me. And it makes me excited to take action on them because I know that this is meant for me. This is meant for me. I have that mindset towards anything that I'm putting out. Any video I have on TikTok that's gone viral, that has gotten a lot of views, was always a voiceover or a moment that I captured, or me saying something or doing something, but it's all me. And I took advantage of that because I know that I want my personality to be the forefront of everything that I do, so people can realize that I am who I say I am, and I want you to follow me because of who I am solely. Now, when it comes to the ideas that people have, a lot of individuals, for example, in the book they talked about one person who wants to start a business. He's like, yeah, I want, most people do, everybody, it sounds great to be a business owner. Everybody wants to be a business owner, wants to be an entrepreneur, wants to pursue their passions, as you should, as you rightfully should. Don't get it twisted. I encourage and implore everyone to figure out what is it that really sets a fire in your heart, something that you would do even if no one paid you to do it. What is your true passion? Everybody wants to figure out what it is and pursue it, or you at least should. But so many individuals find themselves saying, okay, yeah, whenever this is set, then I'll do that. Whenever this is good, whenever I get this promotion, whenever I get this girl, whenever I save this much money, or whenever this year is over, or whenever I turn this age, then I'll actually get up and pursue my passion. Then I'll do it. When this happens, then I'll actually start to do the things that I love to do and put myself in position. When in reality, later is synonymous with never. That's what they say in the book. It's not an actual synonym. Just stick with me here. All right, we're paraphrasing here, but in the book he says later is synonymous with never. He had an individual who wanted to open a business. He was a college professor. He had all the information. He could have done it and been successful. It would have brought him a lot of money. 10 years passed, and he came and he asked him, he said, hey, how's that business going? And the guy had nothing to say. He said, I got too busy. I wasn't able to get it going. Too many individuals are waiting for the right time when in reality the answer or what you need to do is take a step now. Even writing out what needs to be done for you to get to the end goal that you have, to start that business. What hypothetically would need to be done. Writing the plan, making it plain so that you can start to have a vision for yourself of what needs to be done so you can get closer to living the life that you want. Because the worst thing in life is to get to the end of it and realize you could have been done and had so much more. I just cannot imagine living with regret for something that I know I wanted to do when I was 20, but I just got caught up in going to work and going to school and going home and going to work and going to school and going home. And then I looked up and 10 years had passed and I had kids and I have a family to provide for. And now since this and this happened, I wasn't able to get out there and do this. And I wish I would have done that. You have to realize that you have one life to live, but you have limited time to do the things that you want to do. And no one knows when your time is up. There's nothing worse than to get to the end of your life and realize you could have been done and had so much more. So action is the antidote. Action is the antidote. Now, I believe that sometimes you have big dreams and big goals that low-key may scare you. I know I do. I have goals that scare me and they make me nervous. I'm like, how am I going to get this done? How would I ever be able to achieve this, that, and the third? Who's going to help me? Who's going to do this? How am I going to get there? And sometimes it's easy to get so caught up on the how that you don't even make a move. You don't take a step. When in reality, I said it before, I don't care who you believe in. I really do not. But your steps will be aligned if you just continue to move forward. People, places, opportunities will reveal themselves to you as you get deeper into going towards what you want to pursue. I've seen it too many times. I was gonna give you an example that I recently went through, but I'm just gonna tell you all that story later in the week. But let me just continue moving forward. Your steps will be aligned if you show the universe, show God, show whoever you believe in that you want this thing to happen for you, and you're willing to move forward even though you don't really know what the next step is. Honestly, no one ever really knows what the next step is. There's going to be issues, there's going to be trials and tribulations, you're going to face adversity. These are the things that you go into it knowing it's going to happen, but you can't sit around and wait for I can't start until I figure out what I'm going to do when this happens. Why are you waiting? Understand that there are going to be issues and obstacles, but just simply make the decision that when you face them, you will figure out how to overcome them when the time comes. I like to use the phrase, I will cross that bridge when I reach it. You're worried about a bridge that's 30 miles away. Start walking. The bridge hasn't even come close to you yet. Cross the bridge when you get there. And once you cross it, you'll be ready to cross the next one. And the best thing about overcoming adversity as you're pursuing something that you want to pursue, and as you're going towards your passion and you're doing things differently and you're really working on your ideas and you're feeling excited, is the more you overcome, the more you push through the things that you thought were going to stop you and the things that you thought were going to be really difficult, the more confident you are that the next thing that's going to try to come and stand in your way has no chance. You have to build your confidence through consistency. You build your confidence in the business you want to start and the content you want to create through consistently showing up for it and basically putting out in the universe that I will not stop until I get this done, and I'm going to keep taking steps to get it done. Another story he gave, he said there was a salesman and he came to him one day. He said, I think I'm about to lose my job. He said, why are you trying to lose your job? Like, what happened? Like, what makes you think that? He said, well, I've been slacking a little bit. I've had a couple people on the board, like single me out personally for some issues that I made. And, I just feel like I'm about to lose my job soon. He said, well, what can you do about it? He went on moping for a long time. He had to cut him off and say, well, what can you do about it? He said, I guess I can just hope for the best. He said, hope? I mean, yes, you could hope, and yes, you want to hope, and yes, you should believe, and yes, you want to believe, but are you saying that all you can really do to change your situation right now is sit around and wait for something good to happen? Luck is something that people depend too much on. You have to make your own luck. You make your own good fortune. You create the opportunities that you want by taking steps towards them and expecting the best. I'm gonna call this person and I expect to get the answer I want. I'm gonna go there and I expect to get the results that I'm looking for. But you don't just sit around and wait in your room for something to happen. You have to take action. But the best thing about the universe and the way it works is that it sees how bad you want something and sees that you're not willing to give it up and nothing that will come in your way may stop you. Then eventually it's like, okay, you know what? Here you go. So he said, all you can do is sit around and hope? Really? Are you sure about that? He said, well, out of that, whatever. He said, okay, do this. He said, go look for about 3 other jobs so you can have a backup option just in case you do get fired. He said, if you do get fired, if you do think that you might get fired, go look for 3 other jobs. He said it's easy for someone who's employed to find a new employer than it is for the current employer to find a new employee, because he had a very specialized position. He said, if you think that you might get fired, go find 3 other jobs. Now, while you're also doing that, look back at what you've done in the past and see what you can do to improve your sales. Simple. Go. So he gave him 2 options. He said, if you think you're going to get fired, take action to make sure that just because you got fired doesn't mean you're not about to make money. Go find 3 other individuals that will hire you in the field that you're currently in. Boom. Take action. Don't just sit around and hope and cross your fingers and, oh my God, I hope I don't get fired. But if I do get fired, I'm just out of luck. And then he said, look at what you've done in the past, talk to some people in your field, and figure out what you can do now to fix what's going on so you can get a better outcome. So he had 2 options for him. He said you can take action in both these ways. And if it works this way, cool. If it works that way, cool. But at least you know that no matter what happens, you're fine. So you can't just sit around and wait for something to happen for you. You have to make it happen. You have to get up and take action on the things that you want. I love being faithful. I'm a big believer. I believe in me first. I have a lot of belief in my body. But if I want to get healthy, if I want to get a following, let's take content creation for one, because this is truly something that I am passionate about. Making the podcast, having a positive impact on other people, sharing my ideas, being able to communicate. I want to be able to speak with people on a massive level. This is something that I realize that I'm passionate about. But if I want to grow my following and grow my impact across the world, I can't just sit and wait and then post 1 video a week and see if anyone discovers me. How is that going to work? I take action. I don't even worry about if I'm ever shadow banned on any platform because I post too much. If I have an idea, I realize that the vision in my mind is clear and the ideas that I have are meant for me and not for anybody else. So if it's an idea that I have, I know that no one else can make it the way I can. So it gets me to the point where I'm like, bro, I need to make this right now. I started carrying around a little notebook with me so that if I have any ideas while I'm out or while I'm just not at home, that I can write it down immediately. It's a little scratch notebook, very simple. It's nothing fancy. I have 1 pen. Sometimes it's not even a fully formed sentence. It's just an idea that I had, and I write it down because I know that these ideas that come to me at random times are not worthless, and they may be the one thing that I need to put me ahead or push me closer to my vision. The vision that you have is for you, and the vision cannot lie. If you can see yourself running a successful business, if you can see yourself traveling the world, if you can see yourself getting paid to make videos, the vision that you have is for you. The vision cannot lie. But if you never take action on it, then you're going to get to the end of your life and realize you could have been, done, and had so much more if you would have just taken action on the things that you knew you wanted to do. And that's scary. Living with regret is scary. I don't want to have kids and have to realize, like, dang, and make them feel like they cut my life short. I'm dealing with Coda right now. Coda alone is a lot. And he's sitting right outside, but he knows how I feel about him. I love him, but he's a lot. He's only a dog. I'm going to live my life first. But if you have an idea or something that's really burning inside of you, You have to take steps to make it happen. And this is another example he gave, and I want to just give this last one before we wrap it up. He said there was one guy who wanted to purchase a home. He wanted to purchase a home, but he didn't have enough for the down payment. He couldn't take out a loan to get the down payment, because then that would increase his mortgage, because it would mess up his credit. So he said, you know what? He paid one rent check for his apartment. He realized that the rent he was paying was just as much as a house mortgage anyways. And he got really upset. He said, you know what? He called his wife and said, how would you like to buy a home next week? She said, why are you saying that? You know we can't get a house next week. He said, we can figure it out. He said, we're going to figure it out. They ended up asking the person who built the home if he can loan them $1,200 personally, and they can have a personal agreement where they would pay him back $100 every single month. All right, so they cut their spending down. They cut $25 out of their monthly budget, but they still needed $75 to make up for what they needed to pay him on a monthly basis. Instead of going, he went to his boss and he said, you know what, boss man, look, I know that when I am deserving of a when I am deserving of a promotion, that you will give it to me. But until then, I'm looking to buy this house. There's some work that I know can be done over the weekends. Will you allow me to work on the weekends? So he didn't go in there begging for a promotion, which I loved about the story. Because a lot of people, if they want something more on the job, whatever, they go in there, they tell their boss, can you give me a promotion? Can you do this for me? Do this for me? Do this for me? He went in there and he offered more service. I love that. I love that about the story. He said, I am willing to work harder and do more. You don't even have to pay me more. Pay me the same rate. I want to come in on the weekends. Can you just allow me to put myself in a position to work more? He figured that out. Boom, that's the extra $75. And he had cut 25, and then boom, boom, boom. He's figuring all these different things out. Long story short, they get the house, they move in. And he said, if you wait until you feel like you have everything in place, then it simply is not going to happen. But if you make the decision that you are going to get what you want, and then continue to take steps to make sure it happens, then things are going to fall in place for you. Okay? So I want to thank you all for listening. I really appreciate the support, and let me know what y'all think about this episode and how you can start taking action in your own life in the comments below, and make sure you stay tuned for the next episode. Love. Mwah.